Hi people, how y'all doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here and I'm back again with another video that hopefully is going to be interesting and enlightening. Okay, so this is college students debate whose country was better, Trump's or Biden. Hmm, interesting. I would love to know what, the college student thinks and what Charlie thinks actually. I don't really think I know Charlie's political side or political opinion on Biden and Trump. I guess today's gonna be the day, okay? So pretty excited for this and let's just hop right into the video.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir. Yeah.
So.
Hey, a war contractor.
Yeah, I know. I don't agree with them. Okay.
I won't give you a hard time.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for coming to Salt Lake, Charlie. I'm a Christian. And so I kind of find it weird. Like, I don't know. Cause you kind of express support for like. Oh, hey.
Guys, let him talk, please. Yeah.
You like express like support for like Trump. But like,
Correct.
Okay, so like, I mean, I was just thinking like when you were talking about like all those cases he was in, I don't see him as looking like a very moral guy. As a Christian, I don't know if I should back him. So what's your feelings?
So when you vote, I'm curious. This is not a sarcasm. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Do you vote for people or for policies?
I like to consider both.
Okay, that's fair enough. Which one would matter more?
I think policies matter more.
Okay. So then that's the answer to my question.
No, but I don't think I think their policies are pretty similar when you break it down. Like I think their border, like you talk about people coming across the border, but like it looks like their actual policies on how they're handling the border and how they're sending out like enforcement is very similar to Trump and Biden.
That's not true.
And I think they're both just trying to keep up the economy of Obama. Like Trump didn't really do anything new for the economy, and Biden's just trying to bring it back to where it was. So I don't think they're.
Okay,
Yeah.
So on the border, do you know about Remain in Mexico? Do you know about any of those? Or
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we have that policy now. Now we don't. Yeah.
Yes, the numbers, the border crossings were down to record lows. Mm-hmm. Now they're to 10 to 15,000 a day. So you can't possibly say they're the same.
Sure.
So Tom Homan, who was Barack Obama's border chief, 30 years in the position, said Donald Trump was the best on the border of any president he ever served under. Right. So you can't compare those two. On the economy, everyone would here agree the economy was better under Donald Trump than Joe Biden. Everyone would agree. They would say that higher wages, prices were more affordable, the economy was more stable, period. On wars, how many new wars started under Donald Trump?
None.
How many under Joe Biden?
I forget.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to even count. I mean, you have Gaza, Israel, Iran, you have Ukraine, Russia, you have Yemen against Saudi Arabia. Under Donald Trump, no new wars, period, globally, across the planet. It's never happened before in 30, 40 years, so you can't equate the two. So as a Christian, blessed are the peacemakers. Trump is a peacemaker, right?
Did he make any peace?
Oh, yeah. You know the Israel peace deal that he signed between the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Israel? Do you remember that? He signed the Abraham Accords, which was the greatest peace deal of Israel in the modern lifetime. Donald Trump prevented Vladimir Putin from invading Ukraine.
How so?
Well, he didn't invade Ukraine. But
sure.
The way he did that is he met with them in Helsinki under great opposition and condemnation and said, I want diplomacy, not war with Russia. And it was the right move for the Western world, period. And Vladimir Putin did not move an inch into Ukraine. You know where he did move an inch into Ukraine? Under Obama, he annexed Crimea. Mm-hmm. Under Joe Biden, he invaded Ukraine. Not under Trump. He wouldn't dare. You know why? He also feared Trump. Because Trump sat next to Putin. And he said, oh, the photographers are here to take a picture. Oh, by the way, those are really nice gold things you have on the Kremlin. Be a shame if someone melted them. Let's pose for a picture. True story. Vladimir Putin tells it. Donald Trump threatened bombing the Kremlin if Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine. He was so crazy that Putin basically believed him. But the point is in the reality, right? The reality is we had less people invading our country. There were less wars abroad. The economy was better. The country was more stable. It's as factual as one can get.
But why I'm not convinced that like any of the economy stuff had much to do with like the presidential like policy differences. It really looks more like if you look at like corporate profits going up, it looks like just corporate greed like going out of control after COVID.
So the blue collar workers, we saw a blue collar boom under Donald Trump. Working class people saw the greatest rise to their wages in 20 years under Donald Trump. Electricians, welders, plumbers. You can fact check me on it. Just Google
Okay.
blue collar boom, Donald Trump. But on one issue that everyone should vote for.
What did he do to do that? Like, how did Trump make that
Well,
happen?
he did a tax cut for working men and women. He deregulated the economy, and he restricted the labor supply by bringing in less foreign labor, which therefore raises wages for working men and women in this country.
Okay, but so like you talked about foreign labor as well. So
Correct.
so like wouldn't it be a better solution to to just like legalize like the labor of like even like illegal immigrants and just make sure like they have to get paid as much so that they can't be exploited?
No.
Why is that?
Well, send them back to their country of origin if they're here illegally.
But what if they're like a refugee?
Well, did they claim asylum correctly? What are they a refugee from?
Um,
A poor
I-
country or actual war?
Well, I mean like there's
a refugee. The asylum is being abused like you wouldn't. People are saying, "Oh, I'm claiming asylum from Mexico. Why? Because of cartel violence." Like, okay, can I claim asylum from Chicago because of gang violence? I mean, we're equally as dangerous of a country as Mexico now, in our inner cities. So we're not exactly one to like give people asylum.
I'm not convinced that that's true.
In downtown Chicago, downtown Baltimore.
Okay, well, you could just move out of Baltimore. You could just go to a different part of the country.
I agree, but you would get shouted down by a lot of inner city blacks that say that, you know, they don't have the capital or the resources to leave Baltimore or Chicago, right? And that's where they live. Telling people to leave their home is like a really cruel thing to say, I think.
Yeah,
honestly. But
yeah.
secondly, yes, I think that even if you gain the refugee status, you should go home. Yes. But
Wait,
what are they claiming refugee asylum from?
I don't know. I just remember like I'm not super familiar. I just remember like a few years ago, like Honduras was pretty bad, and so people were coming up here, and then they were like getting rejected at the border.
Yeah, I mean, go back to your country and fix it. We have huge problems in this country.
But it's like international law to accept like asylum seekers.
Okay, you don't have to follow international law. We have American law. If international law tells you have to bring in 1 million foreigners, we don't have to follow international law.
Okay.
American law supersedes international law.
But what are we losing by bringing more people in?
Well, first of all, wages go down, our social services get overflowed, crime goes up, and you lose you lose a common American identity, and that's not a racial thing. When you bring in millions of people that don't share the same American story and they all speak different languages, you're a nation of strangers. You need time for assimilation, and we don't have that. More people speak Spanish than English in the state of California.
So, do you think we should just? I think we should have more people learn Spanish because being bilingual is good mentally. I'm pretty sure there's not much evidence that like crime actually goes up and social services are being used a lot by like illegal immigrants.
Have you seen what's going on in New York? They're literally overrunning schools because they don't have the social services to fit all the illegals that are coming into the country. They're overrunning school districts, overrunning hospitals. I'm happy to. You should go down to the border and see it for yourself. It is a mass invasion of 10,000 people a day. And so, but here's the question is, what should our immigration policy be? Number one, a government exists to represent its citizens. It does not exist to solve the problems of foreigners. That's nice once you solve your own problems. And so you must put your own people first. And right now, our people are being spit on, ignored, and not prioritized, especially young people in this country. It is harder than ever for you guys to own homes, harder than ever for you to get well-paying jobs, harder than ever for you guys to build a family. And we have to be lectured that we have to go bring in all the problems in the third world? No, we should close the doors and say, you're welcome into this country if and when we solve our problems here domestically.
Okay, what policy do you support to make it easier for young people to buy homes?
Get rid of BlackRock purchasing a bunch of homes and renting them back to us.
Okay, so like seize their assets?
Not seize their assets. Make it illegal that asset managers over $500 billion can't buy single-family homes.
Okay, I really agree with that. That's great.
Thank you. Yeah. It's
okay.
a super simple policy fix. If you have assets under management over $500 billion or $100 billion, you should not be in the single-family home business. Period.
Okay.
And that's artificially boosting housing prices across the country. I believe homeownership is a moral good for all humans.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, yeah. So, with this conversation from this young man, I feel like it held more potential at the beginning, and then, towards the ending, I feel like he began maybe getting a bit nervous or just losing his composure in general because, he started being, he just started going on like, I'm not convinced, I'm not convinced, I'm not convinced. I mean, did he come to be convinced? But I was really following through with him, when he started, because I've actually not thought about this. Like, it's this, like, Trump Biden. It's a debate I've actually never thought about, because I don't like actively support any of them, right? But this is the second time I'm getting into a Trump supporter, from someone who kind of like I hold in like a high esteem, right? The first one was what's his name? Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson. I'm gonna try to reference that video on here where he was on the View, and just talking about like the Donald Trump's administration, that he is he endorsed him basically, and then now Charlie's on this again, and we know that Charlie is like, he would stand with facts, and he's going to stand with like the statistics and stuff, right? So I feel like with the case of Donald Trump, because I actually do understand where the young man is coming from. Donald Trump isn't, he's a radical man, people. Like, I always say this, like, he is very radical, very just, he's a different person, okay? But I mean, if you're someone who is kind of like sentimental and not politically sound, you would really question Donald Trump being the president, because of like, you're going to be putting his character first before like his administration, and all of that. And I feel, rather, I do believe, or rather I've come to realize, that when it comes to like the presidency, there should be a way to disassociate one's personality to what they could bring to the table if they're like in office and stuff, right? So in this case, I think maybe Donald Trump, not maybe. So I think in this case, we are having the fact that Donald Trump is kind of like radical. He's not the typical, tie up, praying proper, trying to please type of like president, or administrator, or someone in power, someone in politics. He really just acts out, and does whatever he likes. But I feel like the people who support him are looking more inwards. They're looking more at the bigger picture, obviously, because his personality is one thing, and the country being saved and everything is literally the bigger picture. And from Charlie, I came to realize that there were like visible differences, right? Because he talked about the economic, he talked about the growth, and he talked about like immigration. But I'm not really gonna stand on the fact of immigration, because I feel like if the United States has something to offer a large amount of people, and can offer this to people through immigration, I mean, why stop it, right? Obviously, like, we do have, or rather he did tell us that there could be wages decline, a decline in a lot of things, and an uprise in crime and all of that. But there are scrutinies, like very intensive scrutinies, that goes into legally immigrants. Okay, legal immigrants. There are like lots of scrutiny. So I feel like that is not something that should be a threat to them. So in terms of other things, right? Understandable. Trump, Biden, who are you rooting for? Do tell me down in the comment box. But I've come to the end of today's video. I want to know what you think about this topic, and if you do have like a counter opinion on my opinion, I do not mind, as long as it's respectful. Just engage me down in the comment box. I'm really gonna appreciate it. But once very nice one, people, let us keep on staying safe and healthy. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, this is the time to do it, okay? Please subscribe to this channel, give this video a big like if you did enjoy it, and most importantly as well, do share it to a lot more people, so that we could have more people put heads together and we'll talk about this interesting topic, okay? So on to the very next one. Bye. Bye. Bye.